I just deleted the message. Oh no, I didn't. I had the trailers. No, don't worry.
I can remember them.
I missed them.
Did you miss all the trailers?
Yeah, because I was waiting for the.
Do you want to say why you missed them?
Well, because I was waiting in line to get some popcorn and a Coca-Cola to wash down my popcorn.
Oh, did you get a Coca-Cola in the end? I thought you were gonna get the whole walk to the cinema. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna smash a Fanta Fruit Blast."
Yeah,
oh,
Tango Ice Blast.
Tango Ice Blast.
Yeah, because it's a good hangover cure. But
I'm gonna.
But no, I
have
changed
my way with a Tango Ice Blast.
Well, I changed my mind last minute, which I'm allowed to do.
How much was it? How much was
£8?
£8 for a popcorn and Coke.
Yeah.
Before you guys arrived, I got a Coke to help with this hangover, and it was so watery and horrible. Did you find that with yours?
No, it hit the spot for me.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Damn it.
Yeah, but so I was in the queue for a good 15 minutes.
It was ages.
They are the slowest people in the world that went behind the counter of the Odeon.
Do you know what was more infuriating? Is I went up and I was like, "Can I get a medium popcorn and a Coke?" And they were like, "Sweet or salt?" And I was like, "Just mix them together." And then don't judge me for that. And then
No, I'm fine with that. I had that the
It
other
took
day.
them 20 seconds. I was like, bang, card, 20 seconds, got my stuff, went. I was like, why was I waiting 15 minutes?
What? Oh, you said the people in front of you got like...
Oh, these two fat bastards, honestly. Wearing cargo shorts.
Oh, no.
That's how you know that they're packing a little extra. And yeah, they basically ordered a hot dog with one of everything on it. And I'm just there like, can we please...
What can you get on a hot dog?
I didn't see what was going on there. Like onions.
Jalapenos, maybe?
Jalapenos were definitely going in.
Yeah. Another hot dog.
And then they sat right at... You pointed them out when I came in.
They were sat, why people sit right at the very front is just beyond me.
Especially in that one when there was like no one in there, and it's so, all the chairs are so high up. Like you can, there's every spot but the front is like the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
Don't they know that it's Dolby surround sound? They don't have to immerse themselves by sitting in the front row.
How many people do you reckon were in the cinema? Like 15?
If that.
Yeah, more than usual though.
You reckon?
Yeah, I would say so.
I thought it was quite quiet.
We do go at a random time.
Yeah.
11 a.m. is quite early in the morning for such high octane madness.
Speaking of high octane madness.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Hello, welcome back to Slate 6, episode number 19, film podcast where we talk movies, major Hollywood happenings, tall tales of television, and to be continued. To my right is Joe.
Hi, I'm not to your right.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Sat across from you.
Yeah. To my centre doesn't have the same ring.
Yeah.
And to my left is Arlo.
Bonjour.
A 200 pounds richer Arlo.
Woo! Yeah, although my nerves are completely fucked.
It was... What was your bet? Someone scores first and it's 3-0.
Yeah, I had Raheem Sterling and 3-0 Man City, which was...
And there was almost 2 goals in like the last 4 minutes.
In like the 92nd and 94th minute.
The post, the crossbar, a little bit of everything, Keep me on my toes.
You were there with your arms crossed, just looking at the TV. I bet you were preparing your speech for if a goal went in.
What, like an Independence Day? I don't think any speech I'd given after the 4th goal went in would have been nearly as evocative or well thought through as...
This is our Independence Day.
Yeah. Probably would have just been me losing my shit, to be honest with you. But...
Oh, I watched American Werewolf in London.
Love
in the cinema, so good.
In the cinema?
Yeah, the Prince Charles played it.
Huh.
There's like loads of Halloween movies shown at the
Nice.
minute. Yeah, obviously being Halloween.
My dad put that on when I was 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah.
And left the room for whatever reason. Or maybe I was watching it with him. And I think it's the scene where, the first scene where he turns into the werewolf and he goes all green. I think it's that. And it's like really poor effects when you watch it back now, but it scared the absolute living shit out of me as a child.
It's where he got the idea of Thriller from.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. It's weird that like everyone's got that one movie as a kid that they that they watched that shit them up so much. Like for me, it was Dracula Dead and Loving It. That film with it's not Steve Martin. It's the other one. What's his name? From Naked Gun.
Oh, Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah. My parents went out and had a babysitter, and they were like, "Oh, it's a comedy. He'll be able to watch it at 5 years old," and been terrified of vampires ever since. I slept in a sleeping bag for 3 years because I was that scared of vampires.
How would a sleeping bag protect you?
Because you can wrap it around your neck better. It was a sleeping bag with a hood, so it could just like wrap up.
I used to be scared of the Little
And now I've
Mermaid.
got loads of back problems because I sleep. So I sleep so weirdly. Thanks, babysitter. What was yours? Did you have a?
Yeah. I was scared of the Little Mermaid when I was a child.
What? Oh, what of Ursula?
Ursula, yeah.
I cried at Pocahontas as well.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, as like a 5-year-old.
What? Just
Where John leaves at the end.
doesn't she go with him?
No.
No.
Does she not?
No, they get separated.
Oh, right.
I think.
Because in real life, she goes and with him, didn't she?
I don't think she
And
does
she-
at the end of the.
And then she died in London.
Yeah, in the book, right?
Well, no, she's a real woman.
Yeah. What do I mean by book? The history book.
History book.
Yeah.
Encyclopedia. Harry's always been absolutely terrified of witches because he watched Witches when he was a kid.
I think. Wait, what was the other? White Noise. White Noise really shit me up as well.
White Noise.
Yeah, when I was
Is that
12.
with Kiefer Sutherland? No. No, that's Flatliners.
No. It's basically just like a man whose family disappear.
Right.
There's like their car appears and it's just like got all the tires slashed and no one's in it. And then he meets some guy who's like, you should do this seance thing with white noise and like maybe you can talk to your family.
Does he
from
talk
the
to
dead
them?
Don't
grave.
do that. Never do that. It's never a good idea.
I can't remember. I just remember there like some bad spirits or something come through the seance and like flash up and I was like,
Did you ever watch that program, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
When you were a kid?
I
That was
remember that.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch
Or-
Eight-Legged Freaks?
Or Demon Headmaster?
Yeah, I remember the
Yeah.
Demon Headmaster.
Oh.
It was freaky, but also quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I feel like episodes never properly finished. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it kind of never went anywhere. It was just very slow. And then it would always like freeze frame on his eyes turning green.
Yeah.
And that was like the end of the episode.
Do you ever remember, this is slightly slight tangent, but do you remember a book called Not Now Bernard?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah. And then like Bernard was like a little bit of a gobby mouth shite. He's a bit of a bit of a
To use
bullshitter.
the technical term.
Yeah, it's kind of like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, and so he keeps like distracting his parents in all these situations, and they're like, "Oh, not now, Bernard." It's actually kind of dark. He just gets ignored all the time, and then he eventually gets eaten by this monster, and no one will listen to him because he winds people up all the time.
The moral of the story is don't piss people off. Fair. No.
Yeah. Well, that's quite good to start on that actually.
Yeah,
Very,
that's
very
our
topical.
Halloween
Yeah.
special.
Uh,
We were too scared to actually
Yeah.
watch a scary movie.
Because we've all said that we can't really get on board on horror movies to a certain extent.
I don't
Yeah.
like him.
There's some that I enjoy. I really enjoy like gory things.
Okay.
Yeah, like Saw and
I don't
stuff
mind
like
Saw.
that.
Right.
And like Final Destinations.
Yes.
Like, but anything that's like ghost related or anything like
Insidious.
Poltergeist, yeah, Insidious or
I've not
The
seen that.
Grudge,
Yeah,
or anything
that-
like that.
yeah.
Like, no, thank you.
Okay.
The
And
Ring. You said
Oh,
that
the
used to
fucking-
get you.
Well, yeah, but I watched The Ring when I lived in a pub called The Fountain, and it was called The Fountain because it was built on top of a well.
Oh.
And I was like, well, this is horrible. Like,
Have I told you my friend's ghost story about the Atlantic pub
No.
on Scilly? They were closing down for the night, and like legend is that there's a ghost there. You know, like died in one of the rooms or something. It's like pub hotel.
Yeah.
And you know when when you're cleaning down, you know it's just like lights on, music off. You know we're just anyway. He said the lights flickered on and off. The music came back on, like full blast. The saloon doors like to the kitchen, like flung back and forth.
Yeah.
Lights off, lights back on. That was it.
Oh, that's a
It's a pretty good one.
He's hit every trope there, hasn't he? Oh, the music came back on. Oh, the saloon doors flapped open and shut.
who was directing this?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Did a chair fall over as well?
No, I didn't think so. He's got another good one, but it's less believable. Do you
Than
wanna-
that. you shitting me, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm not. I do. Yeah, horror's a weird one. I do, because obviously I went to see American Werewolf in London, and it's
Yeah.
great. And the horror movies I do like, I really like. But then there's I don't know, there's just something about that genre. I think
It's real hit and miss, isn't it?
yeah, and you have to sift through a lot of crap and B-movie, even like to get a good B-movie. I feel like it. I
We
don't
could
know.
maybe.
Well, if you're looking to make a quick profit from a film like studio,
Yeah.
then a easy like horror film
Yeah.
is printing money essentially.
Cabin in the Woods
Like,
was a nice twist on it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Was that Joss Whedon?
Yeah,
Might have been.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is.
We could think about doing a genre podcast on horror, couldn't we?
Well, no, that's
Yeah.
what our original idea is, but we don't know enough about horror.
Well, no, I mean we could do our research.
Yeah. But then,
Like that's gonna happen.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to say one more thing about horror. Oh yeah, I don't like that when you get like a new groundbreaking horror, you know, like say when Blair Witch came out, it was the found footage.
Yeah.
And then you get about 5 to 10 years of found footage horror. What was before? It was like slashers before in the 90s.
Yeah.
The 80s.
It's like unseen presences now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of like Poltergeist or like Paranormal Activity.
That's what I was thinking of, Paranormal Activity.
Or Insidious to an extent as well.
Yeah.
It's like a supernatural force that gradually gets to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Not for me.
Yeah, neither.
But you mentioned Final Destination a minute ago.
Yeah.
Should we say our favourite Final Destination deaths?
I'm trying to think. Oh, mine's definitely the glass pane falling out of the window. Because the thing I love about that is the fact that for about 20 minutes before that, the poor guy is in the dentist with everything that could possibly go wrong, like too much laughing gas, like the machines are like getting flooded by water, and you're like, wow, this guy's fucked.
Yeah.
And he makes it out of the dentist and just like walking down the road, and then this massive pane of glass just falls on him and crushes him to death.
Just pancakes him, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's brutal.
I like the I think it's on the first Final Destination, and it's something to do with like the computer sets fire and there's like a gas leak, but it's so elaborate and it takes so long to set up, and it's just like, you know, just builds and builds, all this stuff is going wrong, and then it's just like the tiniest thing, the computer sparks, which then something else catches fire and then it just blows up. I think that's fun.
What are those machines called that like it's like a ball rolling into like something else that will like knock over?
Like in the Honda advert.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can't remember.
They've got a special name for those.
They do, yeah.
I think it's named after someone actually.
Would stand to reason, wouldn't it?
But yeah, that's what that Final Destination's like, isn't
Yeah.
it? Just like loads of small things building up to.
Did you see the latest one?
No.
I don't know how I know this or how I watched this, but the latest Final Destination, the twist at the end is the main character getting on the plane that starts the first movie. And it's because of the prequel that like sets that instance. Yeah.
Mind blown.
I thought that was pretty good.
I think my favourite one is this woman goes to get her hair cut and there's like sharp scissors around everywhere and like bleach, etc. And there's just a guy like needlessly mowing a lawn out in front of this salon. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I can't remember that.
And she avoids all the like really, really bad shit that could happen in the salon. And as she comes out with her kid, like I think it's like a coin gets stuck in the lawnmower and like pings and just shoots through her eye.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's so ridiculous. Someone's just cutting the grass outside a hairdresser.
The sunbed one's pretty good as
Yeah.
well.
That's
It could
horrible.
be you, Andrew. Don't
no,
laugh it
yeah.
off.
Ugh.
You could be next.
Yeah. Good premise.
Then we'll become the Sink Slate 5. 4? How does it work?
On to news.
Who's
Who's got the news?
I got.
You got
well,
the news?
Well, I saw recently. I don't know if you've seen this, but Joker has surpassed Deadpool to become the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Currently sitting on, I think it's $785 million.
Good.
Obviously.
I would expect more, but
I don't know. Well, no. That's,
I suppose you
think
can't
that's
get
hard to
children
say.
along to it, can you?
Exactly.
So-
And it's not really. Well, people thought it wasn't going to beat Deadpool because it's not a film that you would go back to and re-watch at the cinema. Like, you watch it at the cinema, let it digest for a few months, and then when it comes out on DVD, then
Yeah.
maybe watch it again. But looks like people are going back and going.
I know a guy that's gone back to see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind another watch, but Yeah,
I'll have to be in the right mood for another one.
Definitely.
Do you remember that guy who walked out like three quarters of the way through when we went to see it?
No.
He came in with a notepad because you pointed him out.
Oh yeah.
And then he walked out 3/4 of the way through. I was like, oh,
Wonder
maybe a
what
bit
that
too
was
much
about.
for him. Yeah, but yeah, it's been polarizing as like in terms of reviews.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people love it, some people hate it.
And it's still got some time left at the cinema as well, so people think it'll probably reach about 900 million.
Really?
I think what's great is that it's a movie event, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you could realistically 5 years down the line, you could say, do you remember when Joker came out?
Yeah.
And you could probably recall what you were doing around that time.
It might
It's
be
like
a
one of
bit
those
of a- yeah.
placeholders.
Yeah.
It might be a bit of a turning point in terms of the superhero and DC universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point actually.
Hopefully. Well, I hope.
Hopefully
Yeah.
the Suicide Squad doesn't just fudge it.
Well, I've been saying this for years. Like, the difference between Marvel and DC was always the fact that Marvel took its time at building its world, its universe, and that DC kind of tried to jump to the final goal without putting any of the work in. I know that Joker's not going to be integrated into the larger DCEU, but it would be nice to see some of these more like close, intimate films for a while,
Yeah.
and then start to like build it out from there. Like, I'd love to have a few more of these, like maybe a Riddler origin story, and I don't know, Penguin origin story, Bane origin story, and then you can start doing like good guy origin stories as well.
Yeah,
so, like do
yeah,
Batman,
true.
Superman, and then start bringing it together a bit more. But what DC have been doing for the last few years,
Yeah.
I think the problem is it's profitable though, so they're not going to stop doing that.
Because Joker, it dropped in the box office, but now it's back to number one. I think I read that too.
Oh, really?
It's just something. I can't remember what. Something went to number one. Probably not Terminator. And then, yeah.
Oh, really?
And then this week, Joker's back at the number one spot
that's
in the box office. Actually, I do have some news. This is actually from last week's box office. But you know Parasite, which we've talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Korean film, right? So in the States, it's showing at the minute in, I think, 30 theatres, movie theatres, which is like...
What, nationwide?
Yeah, in the
Right.
whole States, that's it. And it's sitting somewhere around 8 in the box office.
Fucking
7 to 8,
hell.
which is incredible. You think how many cinemas there must be in the States?
That makes no sense to me.
It just shows how good it is, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
Why would they do such a limited release though?
Don't know. I guess from funding is probably the way that works.
yeah. I suppose.
So I'd imagine there must be like 10 to 12 showings of Parasite per day at each cinema.
I don't know.
All full.
For
Yeah,
me,
yeah, I
that's
guess so.
it's problematic and makes sense to me because
Yeah.
I feel like a film like Parasite should be getting far more adulation and attention in a country like America,
Yeah.
and should be played at more, screenings
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and more movie theaters. But equally, having that kind of exclusivity element to it, it's only
Yeah.
at 30 theaters. So like you said, Joe, I feel like every showing will be jam packed,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
The
But
shame with Parasite that I found is that it released in Korea April of this year, and it's just released in the States, and it's releasing here in February.
I know.
So it's like
Ages.
almost a year on the cinema like market.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Is it-
I know that they've got to do like the translations and stuff.
yeah. Is it a different edit as well? Is that
It might be a different edit. I'm not too sure about that, but everything I've heard about it, it seems like
Yeah.
we might be looking at Oscar Best Movie.
I hope so.
I think I would love for it to get nominated.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely going to walk away with Best Foreign Film.
Yeah, I think so.
Bong Joon-ho might even walk away with Best Director, but I
That
think
would
that's
be-
probably going to Scorsese.
yeah.
that'd be amazing if
That
they
would
did,
be
though.
so cool.
That'd be a great
Oh,
event
it
for
would be-
international cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The Oscars needs to be diversified a little
Definitely.
bit. Well, obviously, it's had that controversy over the last
Yeah. Whitewashing.
whitewashing over the last few years. Well,
Yeah.
not a few years, but yeah, no, it'd be great to see that do well.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will though. To be
Yeah.
honest.
I hope so.
I think
hope
it's
so.
in the mix from what I've read
Yeah.
recently.
I cannot wait to see this film.
Yeah, me too. I'm really looking forward to it. It's frustrating that it's
Have
February.
you watched the trailer for it?
No, I haven't. No.
Have you not?
I'm kind of might stick to going in dark on this one.
Really,
And
completely.
just like knowing nothing. Yeah.
See, I kind of know the plot to it, but I obviously won't ruin it for you.
Okay.
But it's really interesting. Really interesting.
Awesome.
Coming back to Joker briefly,
Yeah.
did you see Ryan Reynolds' post about Joker?
No.
So so he basically got the poster, the Joker poster,
Yeah.
and wrote like, "You motherfucker" at the top, and then like a little love heart underneath, and like from all of the other top grossing R-rated films. So it's like from Deadpool, from Neo, because Matrix Reloaded was number 3.
Really?
From Jesus, because Passion of the Christ was up there. And then, from Pennywise. And then it just said from Hugh Jackman. It didn't say Wolverine. And then I can't remember who the others were. Oh, it was like the Wolf Pack, because Hangover Part 2.
Oh, right.
Ted was on there as well. And I think there was a couple others, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. But it was such a Ryan Reynolds way to say congratulations to the Joker and Joaquin Phoenix for taking that top spot.
It's all I ever see in the news, though, is like, oh, isn't Ryan Reynolds funny? Isn't he kooky? Oh my God, I want to be him. He's got a beautiful wife and perfect kids. Oh. It's like, yeah, he's a great guy. Like, let's just leave it at that. Don't have to talk about him all the time.
I will talk about him all the time. And I'm not taking down my poster. Yeah, we didn't get our posters today.
That's happened before. What was the other film we went to see?
When we went to see Avengers, we got posters.
We got posters, but there was something else we've seen recently. Was it Fast and Furious we're meant to get posters
I
for?
don't know, maybe.
There was one thing.
On that topic,
Go on.
who do you think is joining the cast of Fast and Furious 9?
I know this, but I don't know her name.
Cardi B.
Cardi B.
Yeah.
She's back off her massive role in Hustlers.
Yeah.
From what I heard you guys speaking about it, she wasn't in it very much.
It was a cameo role.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah,
Was it just a couple of dancing scenes, was it?
No,
she had lines as well.
Yeah, more like the first half of
How
it.
was her acting?
It wasn't terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't
No?
terrible.
No. Believable.
What's it? Yeah.
So, yeah, the 9th installment of the Fast and
my
Furious
God,
franchise.
I hope they go.
10th if you count the wider extended universe, I suppose.
I hope they go to space. It's
Not
so
much known about the plot
Is
so far
anyone-
or what kind of role she'll play in this.
Is
but,
anyone leaving the cast?
I was going to say, so we know that we're going to get Charlize Theron coming back as Cypher, Helen Mirren coming back as Magdalene Shaw.
Dame Helen Mirren.
Dame Helen Mirren
is in Fast
alongside
and Furious.
John Cena! Finn Cole, Michael Rooker, alongside regulars Tyrese Ludacris, Michelle Rodriguez, Natalie Emmanuel, and Jordana Brewster. Filming's already taken place in Atlanta, Georgia. It will be coming to cinemas in the UK 22nd of May 2020.
Can't wait. Look forward to
Huge.
that. So Vin Diesel's out.
No. I think he's
okay.
part of production.
Statham.
Doesn't he produce it as well?
Yeah. It's Vin Diesel's film. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Dwayne Johnson coming back for this, did you say?
There's no mention of him yet, but
Interesting. Maybe they're trying to separate the... Well, they made up on Instagram. Did you see that? Vin Diesel and Dwayne The
No.
Rock Johnson.
they hate each other.
They hate each other, but they made up.
How?
I can't
Were they
remember.
one of them liked the other one's photo?
Arm
and one
wrestle.
liked-
Yeah. Yeah. They got all buttery and then had a massive hug.
They arm wrestled for 24 days and 24 nights, and there was no clear winner. So they decided
Contractually, there was no clear winner.
to put their differences aside.
Or they went to a bowling alley, bucketed themselves up, and just slid down the aisle.
You're so on this train of them looking like bowling balls and eggs.
Do.
Vin Diesel was pissed off that The Rock stole his idea of being his own best man.
Oh, they are funny human beings, aren't they?
Yeah.
It would be concerning levels of masculinity if they weren't so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it would be really toxic if they just weren't prize idiots. They're like so overly masculine, it's almost funny. You can't help but laugh at them. You're not oh, this is dangerous, because they're taking it to kind of stupid levels now. But it's like, well, it's kind of funny, isn't
Do you
it?
follow The Rock on Instagram?
Do I fuck?
He's got this like leather bag that he carries around with him, and this leather bag might be like the size of our sofa.
Is it for his steroids?
It's fucking massive.
What's in it?
I have no idea.
Probably dumbbells or rocks or something like that. The Rock carrying his rocks.
Well, apparently he does like he works out hard.
Yeah.
And apparently because he flies all over the world, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he has like a gym that he brings with him. And it's the first thing he does when he gets anywhere is like sets up his gym and does a workout.
To overcome jet lag, apparently.
Yeah, apparently it's one of the best ways to get over jet lag.
I've heard exercise is good.
Not for me. I just get drunk on the plane.
Yeah, well, apparently that's the worst thing to do.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah. When I get off the plane from Japan, I'm gonna go do some fucking dips, a few crunches, really get a sweat going.
Crunchy rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So have we
Good
got a
on
plot
it.
or anything yet?
No,
No, they don't.
They start writing it a day before.
So we drink some Coronas.
Yeah.
We say familiar a lot, and yeah, I wear a wife beater.
Yeah.
Job done.
Yeah.
Do you want to have any kind of dialogue for someone as profound as Dame Helen
Yeah.
Mirren? No, I don't need that. I don't think we need that.
Well,
at all.
yeah, we need to come back to this. When was she introduced to the Fast and Furious franchise?
I don't know, but seeing as her name is Magdalene Shaw, I'm imagining she's Jason Statham's mother.
Yeah. Was she not in Hobbs and Shaw when we watched it?
No, The Rock's mum was in it. No, Auntie or mum was in it. Yeah, mum.
Wasn't there a flashback scene with Statham and his sister
Oh,
and their mum?
maybe.
Yeah, I think she was.
That's depressing.
Yeah. But also, I guess she probably has fun with it.
Yeah, she's at that age. She's done everything
Yeah.
to do in a career where she's just like, "Fuck it, I'll do this." It's like, who starred in Jaws 3?
I don't know. Jaws the Revenge is Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. That's
Yeah.
right. Do you know his quote about Jaws the Revenge?
Is it something to do with they drove a truck full of money to my door?
It's essentially.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, I've never watched the film, but I've seen the house it bought. And I was like, yeah, fair play, Michael Caine.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people that have one-hit wonders are just kind of like, I don't really care, paid for this house.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you get to that stage, who gives
Yeah.
a fuck?
Jaws the Revenge is so dumb, they ram the shark with the boat at the end and it explodes. And
Oh, really?
they're in an old, like, tall ship's boat.
After Jaws 1, the main character doesn't come back and they kill him off screen by saying he has a heart attack.
He's in 2.
Oh, right.
He's in 3 a tiny bit.
And-
Yeah, maybe in flashback. I can't remember.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, let's
Yeah.
get off Jaws.
Jaws the shark.
Any news, Andrew?
Yeah, I read that this Tom and Jerry movie is being made, and it was going to be released in 2021, and it's now coming 2020, probably around the same time as.
It's,
Move it
please,
forward.
it's not live action, is it?
I didn't actually read enough into it. My assumption was
Is it going to be like Cats?
A cat chasing around a big old rat.
Did you see the cat's Twitter?
No.
They're following one Twitter account, and it's like laser pens or something like that.
Why? Oh, right. I got you.
That's
Sorry, that went
hilarious.
straight over my head.
My assumption was it's going to be one of those weird live action mixes, and I think the story is roughly like Tom and Jerry move into this hotel, or are living in this hotel, and they need to get Jerry out, this girl that works there, or she'll lose her job.
Right.
So-
Kind of like a Ratatouille type
Yeah,
deal.
I think so.
Human
Yeah.
crossover element.
I
Yeah.
imagine they're staying away from the stereotype.
Yeah.
The owner of the house?
Yeah,
Tom's owner?
Tom's owner.
Remember you
Yeah,
only
that-
ever saw her legs?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
God.
it's really bad. Yeah.
The 50s was a different time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how dry news has been
Good
this
good
week.
bit of news there, Andrew.
For anyone that cares. I think we should go watch Cats, though.
Yeah.
I'm really up for it. Because you know I love the musical anyway, so...
I'm not really up for going and seeing a film with Taylor Swift in it, though. She needs to fuck off.
Don't you love... what's the other woman
The
in
Australian lady.
there? Is
I
Rebel
love
Wilson-
Jennifer Hudson.
Rebel Wilson in it?
Is she?
No.
Did they have enough spandex?
I think she might be, actually.
What's her character called? Fat Cat?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Lard
no,
cat.
I think that's James Corden's character.
Fuck me.
Stop.
Just making a career out of highlighting how fat you are. It's not interesting or funny.
Had a few drinks last night, do you?
I did. But I'm bored of that.
Yeah. I did too. I had a few drinks, so good on me.
I'm having a few drinks now.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Have you got any lemonade?
I don't. Do you want a beer though?
Can I have a
I
beer?
dunno.
Yeah, mate. Have some.
Yeah? Alright, let's do it.
I feel like utter shite, mind.
Do it.
Yeah, there's yeah, grab me another one as well, actually.
Excellent. Look at this. We're derailing.
Then we'll move to the whiskey soon.
Yeah.
Buds.
Yeah, buds.
Yeah.
Buds for the boys.
It's about family. Your program started. To family.
It's familiar.
Okay, let's talk about the trailers we had before the movies.
We only really need to touch on these briefly.
This will be a short section.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't see any of them. Where was it? So the first one was Le Mans again.
Yep.
It was a different trailer than what we saw last time.
It felt like they put two trailers together. It seemed like a 4-minute long trailer.
Well, the only reason I knew that it was a different trailer is because that scene between Matt Damon and the boss of Ford, we got the whole scene in the previous trailer where he like went up and goes, you know what Ford's known for?
Yeah.
Going to war. And in this new trailer, it just flashes to him and he's like, go to war. And it was like, oh, okay. Yeah, and like we said last time, I'm really excited to see this.
Yeah, I'm really excited to it. I think the trailer makes it look cheesier than it's going to be. I think it's going to be more dramatic.
I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, I think it is. I just feel like the way the trailer was edited was to appeal to the masses.
I don't get the impression that Matt Damon and Christian Bale take on a project unless they have some faith in it. So
especially Christian Bale.
Yeah,
sure.
It looked like they wanted to drive some fast cars and like have just kind of chill out in some cowboy hats.
Yeah,
I
quite like that bit with the because I was wondering why they did that at the start of the trailer when they're driving the car in the desert and he's like, oh, I need some masking tape and some cotton wool.
Aerodynamics.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah.
That's some good science. I did not.
They do it with paint now, don't they?
Oh, do they?
They'll it's like spray paint that they put on a chassis and then they see where the air pushed the paint across.
Right. Because you actually see it. You see it. They put all this cotton wool over the car and he's driving it through the desert and it's like, oh, that's a really cool effect.
Yeah,
that they
it's really smart. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. Next trailer was
Sorry, it's called Le Mans 66, is it?
Le Mans 66.
Oh, why am I seeing everywhere that it's called Ford versus Ferrari?
Yeah, wait, you did see the trailers. You came in at the end of Le Mans 66.
So I saw that one.
Yeah, that was the first trailer.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
He didn't know that though, did he?
Oh, right.
Is it in the queue? You missed those good smoking adverts. You know the one I think we saw. One
I did not know they were allowed to advertise e-cigs.
Juul, yeah. Apparently Juul's like the MacBook Pro of the e-cigarette world.
Oh, it's Ford versus Ferrari in the States. Titled Le Mans 66 in the UK and other territories.
Because they can't read French out there.
Well, yeah.
Le Mans? Le Mans? Hey, Ma! You want to go see Le Mans 66? It's about Ford.
They had to give
That's
us
kind of depressing for America. Like, imagine being American and go, oh, they had to change the name for us. That's so, like, didn't they change a Harry Potter name?
Sorcerer's Stone.
That was over religious reasons, wasn't it?
Philosopher's Stone, Sorcerer's Stone? I don't know what the reasoning was.
Oh, maybe it's not that.
And we talked about it last week.
Americans don't know what philosophy is.
You are going in.
Why didn't they just call it Ford Goes to War?
Edge of Tomorrow they changed as well, didn't they?
Live, die, repeat.
Yeah, die, repeat. That's like what above like a teenage girl's bed. Like,
do you think any Americans understood? Do you think they went to see Dark Fate, or do you think they boycotted it because it was mostly based in Mexico? I'm generalising. I don't think that about all Americans, obviously.
So yeah, the next trailer we got was Midway,
which is American garbage and
Oh
nonsense.
my
That
God.
looks horrendous.
I don't even want to. It's just like, it's not going to be factually accurate, and it's just going to be like America saves the day.
I thought it was Michael Bay at first.
I
It's so gimmicky.
assumed it was.
It's not far off. Roland Emmerich's like Michael
Is he from
Bay's
that school of
right-hand
thought?
man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right-hand man.
Yeah, those two are just...
Are they exchanging in a few hand shandies?
The budget for this film was 60 million as well.
Really?
Which
Really?
is
It looks
quite low.
It looks quite budget.
Yeah, the CGI looks really bad.
Yeah, I just really hated the bit where he kind of brings the plane up and he like
purposely
turns off
stalls
the
it.
engine,
Oh.
yeah, and flips it back
That's a
round.
trope that's, pardon the pun, flying around quite a lot
It came
recently.
from Top Gun, didn't it?
Did
There's
it?
a bit in Top Gun where he puts on the brakes and flies by.
Oh, yeah.
Put on the brakes, he'll fly right by.
Oh, it's fucking so stupid.
Yeah. Let's not watch Midway. Unless we've got
Why does
nothing
everyone
else.
put in a wig on Woody Harrelson as well? Like, what's that about? Just
Yeah.
let him be bald.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
I quite like it.
You've seen Venom. This is the only part of Venom I've seen, the post-credit scene.
No.
He's meant to be, who plays Carnage, Joe, in Venom?
Oh,
Woody
it's
Harrelson. Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah. What's the character called, though,
Oh, I
in
can't
the
remember.
Spider-Man? Anyway.
Carnage, not Riot.
No,
Which is
Carnage.
the guy from Rogue One as well.
How's it? They put this red curly wig on Woody Harrelson, and it looks ridiculous. It's so bad.
Oh, yeah.
You know, at the end. the end
Yeah.
scene, yeah. And does he say, "I'm gonna cause some carnage" or something like that? You know, it's one of those lines.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. It's got this Midway's got like a very B-list actor cast, like not the top of their game, but like you recognize them, but you
Yeah.
can't remember what you recognize them for.
It's
So
the guy
got
that looks like that guy.
He's playing again.
yeah,
Does that make
yeah,
sense?
I know. So it's got Luke Evans. He's the main guy that was in like Beauty and the Beast,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and then
Is he that? He's the main guy.
yeah,
He's Ajax in Deadpool.
no, that's Ed Skrein.
Oh, I thought he's the main guy in this.
Well, I think they're both kind of
They're
like,
interchangeable people.
yeah. Yeah, I was going to say Ed Skrein in it, who I thought at the start was the first time you see him, because his eyes look very similar to...
Yeah, he does look really... Is it the guy at Suicide Squad you're thinking of?
No, I'm thinking of the guy out of Peaky Blinders.
Oh,
Oh,
not Cillian Murphy.
Cillian
Yeah, he
Murphy.
does,
yeah.
He's a lot younger than Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, he is. It's got Dennis Quaid in it as well.
Yes.
Fucking back from the dead.
Spacing Quaders.
Oh, did you see... did you see the tweet about Dennis Quaid recently as well?
No.
So I think he's just got married, or he's dating like this 24-year-old woman.
How old's he?
He's like
50s?
late 50s.
Okay.
Which is absolutely
Nothing
fine.
wrong with
that.
No, absolutely fine. But the actress that played like his love interest, the antagonist in Parent Trap, just tweeted out at the news article saying to the woman, "Watch out for those twins," which is hilarious. Yeah, it's Nick Jonas is in Midway as well.
Do you think they got that from Dunkirk? You know,
Harry Styles.
Christopher Nolan put Harry Styles in, who actually did a good job.
Yeah, everyone thought he did well in that.
Yeah. So they're just like, who's an equivalent?
I'm a
One of
bit
the
bored.
Jonas
I'm a
Brothers.
bit bored of this already. As in, getting musicians into.
Yeah.
But there have been,
It's like the new wrestlers.
Yeah, very much so. Because I rewatched Social Network the other night.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and Justin Timberlake is so good in that.
Yeah, he is really good.
Like, really
Yeah,
impressive.
he's really good actually.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
yeah.
it is. It's also got your pick for comeback king.
Oh yeah,
Aaron Eckhart is in Midway.
great man.
I don't think this is going to be the role that kind of boosts him back to A-list like stardom, though, is it?
No, no, but I feel like when you do like a war film like this, there are certain people who have that classic look. And I feel like
Yes.
Aaron Eckhart very much
Yeah.
lends himself to that.
It's the
Aesthetic,
jawline
yeah.
and the hair.
It's the same with Woody Harrelson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they all have that kind of.
Just put a wig on him.
Yeah,
Are we going to be seeing this? I don't think so.
absolutely not.
And then,
When does it come out? Do you know?
I don't know.
No one cares.
Yeah, no one cares.
I think
It'll probably be coming out on like Thanksgiving or Veterans Day or something like that. I
Yeah,
imagine.
you're exactly. Yeah, it will be Veterans
Yeah.
Day. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Do you reckon they're casting Nick Jonas to try and like maybe get Sophie Turner involved or something? No,
No,
I can't imagine so.
he's in their relationship. No, right,
Yeah.
fair
I mean, if you and Gian were cast in like a film, would you want to do that, or would you want to work independently? Like if let's pretend you're an A-list actor, Jeff, just for a minute.
And so's Gian.
And so's Gian.
Right, okay.
And they come to you and they say, "We really want you for this role in Midway, Joe.
It must be,
You're perfect for it."
are they putting her on the Japanese side? Because that is massively racist as they are.
I didn't even consider that. But seeing as it's Hollywood, yes, they probably are.
Oh man.
They could have just messed with history and done like a Romeo and Juliet. Joe's a fighter pilot for the US.
Our eyes just meet while we're flying planes in opposite directions. Oh Christ.
And then amidst all the chaos, you could just have, "Why do birds?"
That's how bombs are going off.
Slow-mo flyby.
Green like that, I'm in.
Sounds better than the actual film, doesn't it? And then you can just have at the start, from the visionary mind of Andrew Slate, loosely based on the events of the Battle of Midway.
Christ. The next trailer was something that looks equally as bad, in my opinion.
Okay, I want to ask you a question.
Bad
I think
Boys.
I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Have you ever stood in a nightclub holding your drink, pointing at your friend?
Yes. Absolutely I have.
What?
What do you mean?
You know that scene where they're just like nodding at each other with drinks?
Mate, you're you're dancing around, you're feeling it, you're hammered, and then you see your friend that you haven't seen in the you lost
Look
them.
Look at us.
You got separated for like 10, 15 minutes. You see him again, you're like, ah.
It did the first like couple of scenes of the trailer, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna retire," and it jumped to the next one where he's on the roof, and I was just like, oh, "They're gonna say one more time," and it was like,
One more ride.
"One more ride."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, fuck's sake!"
Ride
man.
together, yeah. That looks
It looks
terrible.
fucking atrocious.
One more ride down to Chick-fil-A. Judging by the look at Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence has put on some, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I told you that they
Yeah.
wanted him to get in better shape.
He's officially reached chubby little funster
Yeah.
levels of...
I mean, he was never really a good actor anyway. But
what else has he been in?
yeah, I suppose.
Big Mama's house.
Oh Christ.
Yeah.
I have literally nothing redeeming to say about that entire
No.
trailer. It looks horrible.
Dare I say it, but it's going to be a bad Fast and the Furious. And Fast and the Furious is very bad.
I'm going to see this, and I'm going to love it. Because it's...
And like the new generation that was started singing the Bad Boys song, there was like a Latino girl, an Asian man, and a white guy, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
hitting those diversity
Yeah.
quotas.
Oh my god, they're so PC.
No, I'm still going to love this. I don't care how bad it is.
I'm not
still
going
gonna
to
love it.
cinema to watch this.
Yes, you fucking are.
Oh, fuck.
We'll see what it's up against when it comes out.
I don't
Yeah.
care if it's up against the Godfather of its time. We're going to see it.
Bad Boys, Bad Boys. Yeah, enough of that. The last trailer we got was a Star Wars trailer.
Yeah, so we talk about both of them really.
Yeah,
so
I think
this
we
was the previous Star Wars
Have
trailer.
we talked about this? Yeah.
We've not talked about the new trailer
We
yet.
haven't.
No.
We have no, but this
Only-
wasn't the new trailer that we got.
No. It was the
This
old
was
trailer.
the old trailer
Yeah.
that's like the montage of the entire saga, essentially.
Yeah.
Back to
Really touched well on the trade negotiations, I felt.
they literally nothing about midichlorians, nothing about trade negotiations.
No, there's just a bit with Palpatine in the, I guess the equivalent to the Congress, whatever you'd call it.
Yeah.
There was like a still of that, and I was like, why are you putting that in there?
Yeah.
Like, I know you need
Sweep
to
that
find
under-
one still from each of the prequels that you're not ashamed of,
Yeah.
and post that.
What was it you said? You said something in his voice when that scene came on.
Do it.
That was you.
Do it.
But I
Kill
wi-
him, Anakin.
I wish they just.
Kill him now.
I wish they just
Do
put
it.
a shot of Christopher Lee's head just being decapitated because he wasn't featured anywhere. They featured Darth Maul.
They don't show that in the film, do they? Because it was a 12 or it was a 12A.
Oh yeah, you see it, kind of see it roll off in the
He
background.
kind of just collapses in a very PC way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that the guy who acts as Palpatine in the prequels is fucking
Yeah.
horrendous.
They've got to get a different actor, surely.
No, it's the new guy. It's
the same guy.
Same guy, and he
Is
was
it?
the guy in the original.
Well,
He's got a good laugh. I'll give him
Yeah.
that.
So moving on to the trailer we just got, I thought that Palpatine was going to be more of like a kind of bad Force ghost. But
Yeah.
he is actually coming back because you see him
In his
in
little
the
crouch
trailer,
chair.
in the chair, kind of like a Thanos floating chair.
Yeah, the impression I got that it seemed to be like on legs that's walking, so maybe
really?
he's just like, I don't know. That was my interpretation.
Wasn't the whole plot point in the prequels that he knows how to keep people alive beyond when they
No,
should?
that
be?
was Darth Sidious. That was his.
But he knew how to do that
Yeah.
as well. That's why Anakin wanted to keep him alive.
Yeah, because he
he-
knows
Oh, really?
He
how
thought
to.
he could save Padme.
Right.
And isn't the story? I don't know. I can't remember if they mentioned this in the films or it's cut out. But is it not? You know, apparently Anakin's conceived by virgin birth. Is that not Palpatine manipulating the Force? Was that like a thing? I can't remember if they put that in there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actual lore, but I think that's a theory that's
Yeah.
been going around for a while. I don't know if it's Palpatine or Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, Vader kills Palpatine, right?
Yeah.
Or he throws him down the shaft.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
see
really good.
him.
I like that scene.
And
Yeah,
he's-
if you don't see a body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so what did you think of the new trailer?
I actually think this looks really good, apart from the horses in space. I was like, that's stupid.
That's
That's
just in space.
yeah.
It's insane, doesn't
The
it?
visuals are unbelievable.
yeah, yeah.
Like the bit that really stood out to me was the you kind of saw the, like you always talk about the kind of jump to light speed where they stop,
Yes,
where all the
yeah.
spaceships come in and they just all stop at the same time
Yeah.
together. That
I love that.
looks incredible.
I don't know what I like about that so much.
Just satisfying.
It's
Yeah.
just like landing like a dainty butterfly. So, ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I think it looks.
So that duck landing on ice. Have you seen that video?
Oh, that's my favourite video.
Yeah, I think this is shape. It's looking really good. I think maybe we should see this on a bigger screen.
Well, this is a point I wanted to bring up that I
IMAX.
heard the other day, is that Star Wars tickets have gone on sale in the States already for the
Yeah, I heard
premiere,
this.
and they sold out quicker than Endgame, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, dedicated fan base. I think
Yeah.
we've discussed that before. haven't
Yeah, I don't think it will top Endgame in terms of box office, but
we? No,
No, we said this last week, didn't we?
but yeah, we should think about trying to maybe go to that one in Leicester Square,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah.
Or the IMAX.
Or the
Yeah.
IMAX, yeah. One
That'd
thing
be
I will
really cool.
say is Oscar Isaac is he's a bloody handsome man,
He's a
isn't he?
dish, isn't
My,
he?
for my word, he's a snack.
I don't think he's
He's
that
an aperitif.
good. He's not used
Not so
to
much
his-
when he's blue, but
Yeah, but as
Oh,
Poe
yeah.
Dameron, my word.
Yeah. I don't think he's used to his full capabilities of acting
In Star
in
Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Oh, I think he's been,
I don't think
he's
you
been
want to
good.
see his full capabilities of acting because I don't think it'd be that good.
No, have you seen that movie where he's that 80s gangster guy?
No.
No.
It's really good.
Oh,
It's an
really?
indie movie. Yeah, he's so good in it.
Huh.
He's got some
I think
like
he's a good actor.
yeah, he's really good. He has what is his business? Something to do with like cargo, just like deliveries basically
okay.
and freight and
Deliveroo.
yeah. And this
Did somebody say...
the mafia are trying to like buy him out, and he's just like having none of it, and they're like attacking his
All right.
his drivers and stuff, and then it puts him at breaking point. It's a really good film.
Oh, I might
I forget its
check that
name. It was on Netflix. Yeah, my only worry about the Star Wars thing is they're going to try and top Endgame's end battle scene. That's what I thought about the horses in space. I was like, oh, here we go. There's going to be like a assemble scene.
Yeah, maybe.
There has to be.
I
in
don't want it
event
to
like
be as black and white as good versus bad. In the last like to finish it off, because the whole point of this new saga was more to like balance the force, than good triumphing over evil. I don't know.
You were supposed to destroy the Sith.
Do you think we're going to get lots of cameo Force ghosts like
Yes.
Ewan McGregor, Hayden
Yoda.
Christensen?
Hayden Christensen.
I think it is going to be Hayden Christensen.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What?
I think it is.
Really?
I think I read somewhere that it is.
Really?
Yeah.
He's back.
They just
Off the success of Jumper.
They went and found him on the street corner. He's been on since 2005. Hayden. Yes. Why are you so jumpy?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I watched Return of the Jedi the other night again.
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi,
Oh,
sorry.
the Last Jedi.
It's not a very good film.
I disagree with you.
I've not seen it in a while, but I'm with Arlo on this. But I do feel they wrote themselves into a corner on the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the whole ending on the kind of like mineral moon that they end up on. It's like the salt moon.
Yeah.
The visuals look incredible. There you get the kind of Leia and Luke goodbye. You get his astral projection. You get him baiting Kylo Ren, which is great.
Do you know if you watch that scene back, he doesn't have any footprints?
Yeah, see that.
That's quite cool.
That
And
is
he's
cool.
got different hair.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
He brings back that sweet 70s mushroom bob or whatever they're called.
What does he say to Kylo? See you around, kid.
Is that what he says?
I think that's what he says to him. Yeah, see you around, kid, and then disappears.
Do you
Kylo's
think-
like,
Do you think we've got redemption for Kylo Ren?
I don't. I think it's too obvious. I don't think he's gonna get.
Really?
I think he'll.
But it's a kids' film, isn't it? Like, I think we will get redemption for Kylo Ren.
You've kind of had parts of his redemption already, though, where he helped Rey kill all the. He killed Snoke, and
Yeah.
then he killed all of the like I don't know, the ninjas.
Yeah.
The red-
yeah,
the red
basically. Yeah,
ninjas.
the red.
Apparently, we're getting
the Knights of Ren.
No. Apparently, they're in this film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Apparently, you see the Knights of Ren in this film, but
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because the Knights of Ren were just other people that
we're training under Luke.
were trained under Luke.
The other
that,
Jedis.
that converted rather than get killed by Kylo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know much about the story of this new one, do we? There's no like loose plot or anything, is there?
No.
You saw the kind of Darth Maul lightsaber on Rey
yeah.
at the end, didn't you?
That-
I think that's a massive red herring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
MacGuffin.
A MacGuffin.
Is that right? Is that
No, I don't
No.
think that's what a MacGuffin is.
A MacGuffin's like.
That's a yeah.
It's like
It's
a
like
plot
an
device
that's a
you
plot
never
device
see.
that you don't need. Like that just
Yeah.
moves the plot along.
Yeah. Well, you just never like it's like the briefcase in Pulp
Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction, yeah.
Just a thing. Cool.
Yep.
Well, on to this week's main topic. Dun 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 dun. Terminator Dark Fate review.
Um,
How are we gonna sync Slate synopsis?
yeah.
Whose turn is it?
I can do this justice.
Please do.
Okay, ready?
Born ready.
Dun 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 dun.
So we start off in Mexico City,
Yep.
where two Terminators sent back. Plot twist: one of them's a Terminator. The other one is an enhanced human sent to protect a woman called Dani, who's just Mexican citizen. You don't really understand the relevance of the character at first.
Yep.
The point being that Sarah Connor in this timeline has stopped Judgment Day.
Yeah.
John Connor has been killed. He was killed as a child
Yeah.
by Arnie. And rather than it being Skynet in the future, it's now a company called Legion, who very much went along the same lines of really, really high-tech AI that wanted to take over the world.
Yeah.
So two different timelines, but same premise, essentially.
Yeah.
And it's all about... it's very similar. So Dani is the John Connor equivalent.
Yeah.
And a Terminator sent back to kill her to to ensure that the Legion storyline fulfills. And the other enhanced human, who's called Grace, is sent back to protect Dani and make sure she's able to lead the resistance in the future.
Yeah. What were your... That was very good.
Well done.
What were your thoughts, without spoilering too much, on this movie?
Overall,
Yeah.
I thought it was quite a fun ride. The action set pieces were really creative.
Yes.
And the CGI looked fantastic.
Most of the time, I would say.
Most of the
Yeah.
time, yeah. The young Arnie looked awful. I
Yeah.
thought. The writing was some of the worst I've ever heard in Hollywood.
Yes.
And because of that, the acting suffers. Like, even the strongest performances were kind of hindered by just delivering the most ridiculous lines.
Yeah.
It's kind of going down that whole like action genre of it's so stupid that it's kind of good, and kind of like very much like Hobbs and Shaw, I found, where like rather than being amazed by the set pieces, I was laughing at them but because of that, I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it for the wrong reasons. Well, not for the wrong reasons, but I don't think what they wanted me to enjoy it for.
Yeah.
I really loved the setting. And I think I mentioned this before we went to see it. From what we saw from the trailer, is that it looked like it was going to be predominantly based in Mexico, and that was like a new spin for the Terminator franchise. And I feel like they could have done more with it in the end. I feel like you could have been put in that moment a lot better by maybe better story writing, like Joe said, and better direction. But I still really liked it. I especially liked the kind of small details, like when the Terminators, when Grace was sent back and when the Terminator was sent back, all the like clothes on the washing line started freezing up, and then they kind of like crystallized and smashed on the floor when they dropped to the floor. Quite like the whole like it's a hot climate, and it's like, because you never had that before, did you?
No,
that it was like a cold, like what would you call that? Because it'd be exothermic in terms of heat.
What do you mean?
Because there must be a name for like a reaction that sends out cold.
Endothermic.
Yeah.
The one thing I really liked about the actual time travel aspect was the location, because obviously the Earth kind of changes in its like depth almost, like you get new layers of Earth and stuff, and where she spawned
which was
in
like, the middle of a bridge.
It was in the middle of a bridge, and she ended up falling below the bridge to like falling 20 meters down, which was really clever. I thought.
But I also like then that you get the fact that the Terminator spawns perfectly in the middle of the housing block. Literally perfectly in there.
Yeah, but again, it was above the.
Yeah, he was above,
and he just does like a cool guy flip.
That was interesting, wasn't it? I thought that was like a kind of nod to the fact that she was human and that he's a machine.
Yeah.
So that when she came in, she hit like 3 beams and fell and passed out.
Yeah.
And when he came in, he did like superhero landing.
And
just
and
like
he
looked up.
that whole pose is synonymous with Terminator, isn't it? The one knee, one
Did you notice that's how he kept spawning back?
Yeah.
Whenever he got
fist on
taken
the ground,
down, fist down, knee down.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
It is quite. It seems like it's a very confused movie in itself. It's like it is kind of a bit all over the place in some points. I found.
I thought it held together. I was taken off guard. I expected it to be a lot worse than it was.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Especially given, I think, what we admitted was quite a weak performance from Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Well, weak and kind of convincing in parts.
I disagree. I think her performance was awful.
Really?
I did not believe a single line that she delivered.
She does say the F-bomb a lot, doesn't she?
Yeah.
That kind of got annoying.
Even the corny lines where like the other actors kind of like will give you like a wink to the camera, like we know this is a shit line. She was trying to deliver them seriously, and it was just like, oh, so cringe.
I don't think.
I really liked the fact that her character motivation was actually convincing for once. Like the writing enabled that.
It kind of was, but also I don't think they did enough with her. I know they had to focus on the other characters, but I feel.
No, I don't know. She's saying that. She got these and I thought the text was a nice writing part
that was
point
good
as well.
That's the thing about confusing. There's some bits I'm like, that's really good, but then it falls down in another part.
I think there's a difference between dialogue and writing, right?
Yeah.
So the dialogue was really poor in parts, but then again, I feel like the Terminator franchise needs or has like a set number of boundaries where you have to say like I'll be back, and you have to play up to those things.
Yeah, I mean, you put those in the movie so you can put them in the trailer. Essentially.
Yeah, so people are still familiar with what the franchise is. Yeah, essentially.
I thought. No, actually, I'll say that because that's a bit of a spoiler.
But think of the wider context. Think of like Genesis, and think of what was the other?
Rise of Machines. Was there another one in between?
There was
the Fall of something, was it? No.
There was like an apocalyptic one with
Christian Bale. That's where he goes mental at the lighting guy.
Yeah.
But I compare that to those, and I feel
it's way better. Than
it did it far more justice, and I feel like what Terminators wanted to do for so long is reinvent it for a new generation.
Yeah,
and I kind of felt like this could have a chance.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it's kind of, there is an aspect of it that is like a soft reboot in a way, especially how it ends.
Yeah,
they kind of like have finally got that soft reboot that
Grace-
can enable.
Although,
Grace's
like,
character's
like
nailed
we
it,
were
mate.
saying
Yeah.
on the way back from the cinema, if you actually sit down and think about the whole time travel aspect, it doesn't work.
No, but it kind of works within. I think what they've done really well in the previous Terminators, well, 1 and 2, is that they set up the rules so well
Yep.
that even this is a bit flimsy. You can kind of piece it together.
Yeah.
I think it does work.
Yeah,
No,
I
because
think
the
it does.
whole point about Sarah Connor stopping Judgment Day was the birth of John Connor,
Yeah.
and he was going to stop Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So now,
Which they did in Terminator 2.
but
So-
he still gets killed as a kid.
Yeah, because
So he doesn't stop Judgment Day in the future.
Yeah, he does. Well, yeah, but Arnie's Terminator gets. They've already stopped Judgment Day at that point.
How?
From Terminator 2.
Yeah.
What do you mean from Terminator 2?
Terminator 2, they blow up, they destroy all evidence of a Terminator, so Skynet can't be built, right?
Oh,
And then
right, I see what you mean.
Arnie's Terminator gets sent back in time in this one from a timeline that no longer exists.
Yeah, because they cut it off. So I guess you're meant to think that before they stop Judgment Day,
He still got
he's
sent
already
back.
been sent back.
Oh, he'd already been sent
yeah,
back.
and he just catches up with them in Guatemala.
I see.
And
Because-
that's the whole point around his
Yeah.
character in this, right? Is like he didn't
Yeah.
really have a purpose.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
already completed it, and then there's nothing else for him to do.
Yeah.
Okay. I
that
see.
was some good de-aging.
No, it wasn't.
I
I
thought
thought on her it was.
On her
I
it
thought
was.
it looked a bit
on
strange
her,
on him.
Yeah.
it was brilliant.
Not
but
on Arnie.
On Arnie, it was
a bit out of
terrible.
place.
And
But
the
then
kid.
again, he's a robot. So.
The kid looked impeccable.
Yeah,
he
it
looked
looked
exactly
like him.
like John Connor in
I want
Terminator.
to know
2.
how they did that.
Yeah.
Maybe they just used old footage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they might
maybe,
have done.
yeah.
Yeah, and CGI'd it. Yeah. Anyway, interesting seeing that to start off
Yeah.
the film.
Yeah, do you know what I really liked is how it gets going almost instantly. Like once you're in that first factory, it's just go. There wasn't any like boring setup. It was just kind of like the Terminators arrive.
Yeah, you're
they
in
go
it.
after her. It's like within the first 10 minutes, and
Yeah.
that first action piece is really good.
I really
the
liked-
her character setup was so cheesy and corny.
Right, like carrying flowers.
Oh yeah, it was just
Oh, well, Danny?
Danny's, yeah.
like
sorry.
you meet her family and it's just like her brother's acting was awful.
It was. I thought he was going to be a school kid. When she gave him the bag, I was like, that guy is way too old to
He
be in
is
school.
ripped to be.
I think the whole point of that initial scene with her and her family is to prove like how far she comes by the end of the film.
Yeah.
To like set up
Yeah.
like she's
Yeah.
just this like she's living in Mexico City. She's just like an innocent Mexican girl working in a factory.
Yeah.
And by the end, she's this like hardened
Yeah.
leader of
Yeah.
the resistance, basically.
No, sorry, I won't say that. We're getting into spoilers.
Yeah. What other things I want to say? Yeah, there's some bad CGI. Actually, I tell you what is quite jarring sometimes is there's some weird edits.
Yeah,
There's
we
one
picked
really
up a few
bad
of them,
one
didn't
that's
we?
so obvious. It's
In
like
the cabin,
yeah. It's
Which one?
They're in
where
the
he's
cabin.
handing out the beers,
Oh, right,
and there was just
yeah.
there was literally just like a jump straight
Yeah.
like into the like next.
It was really jarring.
It was. They need to address that.
Yeah.
I think they cut a bit out because there's no way that you would have one scene after another where Arnie hands out beers.
Yeah.
That was it. They cut out like a bit
They
of
cut
dialogue
out a
or
bit
something.
of dialogue or something because
Yeah.
to give them beers and then it cut to the next scene where they're out on the porch and he gives them more beers. It was like, are you trying to get these girls fucked
I
up?
didn't even think of that. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, whoa, I'm double fisted.
Party,
Arnie. Start playing Ring of Fire.
I also thought in some of the action pieces that the like directing was sometimes it's quite hard to follow, especially I won't ruin it, but the bit where they go to the dam, the water bit is kind of a bit hard to follow, and the bits in the plane sometimes the way it's filmed. I don't know if that's purpose.
Yeah, I think the bit in the plane, I preferred that to the final set piece.
Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
you mean. That felt like it should have been the end.
Yeah.
That I really enjoyed that. Like
Yeah.
it was very different.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas like we've seen final set pieces at dams before.
Yeah,
Look at like
factories.
My
yeah.
yeah,
favourite
look
bit-
at X-Men.
My favourite bit on the plane was where like they were all trying to get in the Humvee to parachute out, and you just see the Terminator just kind of popped his head round the gap in the side of the plane, and you're like, imagine being like the character and be like, oh, for fuck's sake, please.
It is like one of those things where it's just like nothing will kill him. You just got to keep getting
Yeah.
away. It's
I quite liked how over the top American he was as well.
Yeah.
to fit into society.
Yeah.
I thought he was supposed to be Latino, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But when he invades the border force area, and where he then assumes the military uniform. Do you remember he goes through the pinger, and he's like, "My whole body's a weapon."
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh, "Okay, save it for the ladies, big man."
Yeah.
And he goes through and he's like, "Sorry," and he goes, 2 tours of Afghanistan. I've got a metal hip. And the guy goes,
You just know that when they're showing this film in the States at the cinema, they're gonna be like, "Yeah!"
"Woo, woo, woo, woo!" And the guy goes, "Thank you for your service," and just lets him through. Yeah, there were some big security breaches in this film.
Yeah, really
He
bad.
had a gun on his back at that point as well. He gave the handgun, and they're like, "Go through." And he's like, "Yeah, walking through with a fucking rifle on his
Assault
back."
rifle. They're like, yeah, that's fine.
Go for it.
Should we score it now, or should we spoil it then score it?
Spoil then score.
Okay, cool.
That's the format.
Spoil
isn't it?
it.
Let's go into spoilers then.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, before we do spoilers, Arnie's really good in this, I think.
He's okay.
I think he's
passable.
really good. I think it's good. It's a good spin. Anyway, let's spoil it. It is also very ridiculous when they go to his house and he gives them out beers, Coronas, a la Fast and the Furious.
They weren't Coronas.
They
were,
weren't.
Oh, were they not?
It
No.
wasn't. Yeah, because
They were similar branding though.
Yeah, initially I was like, "Oh, they're doing this for product placement," but then I was like, "That's not a real beer."
It wasn't like a Moldeva. What's that called?
Modelo.
Modelo.
It did look like a Modelo as well,
But
I
they were
don't know.
tall. Yeah, I thought it was
know.
Corona.
Well, he put lime wedges in the top anyway.
Yeah.
So,
That's why.
like you were saying earlier about being set in Mexico and being really interesting.
Yeah.
I really wish that they just stayed in Mexico.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Last Blood. Why? What is this need to
Yeah.
cross the border? Like, why is...
Do you reckon just it's because American audience wouldn't go and watch it? It was all set in Mexico, so they do the exact opposite and go to Texas. You want America? We'll give you America.
Yeah.
It was almost like you had this like American familiarity, or kind of almost playing to an American audience, because you had the bit where they went into the gun hold in Texas, and he gave like the quips like, it's like, "Why do you have all these guns?" He's like, "Oh, because he's like, I calculate that there's going to be an event at some point where my family will be in danger."
Yeah.
And then he's also like, "And also it's Texas."
Yeah, that was quite good. Yeah, there is some like, I feel like they tried to do some kind of little
Comedy hits.
and also like commentaries on humanity and certain laws that are in place. There was stuff about data and like cell phones and how much data you're giving away. There was stuff about like immigration, the wall.
Yep.
But it just wasn't explored enough. I don't think they needed to, but also it kind of got thrown in and you're just kind of like, oh, all right. And then it doesn't get picked up back again.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just
Yeah.
I also think I'm in love, Andrew.
Yes.
Mackenzie Davis.
She is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And she gives a really great performance in this film as well.
Yeah, she probably
If it
holds
wasn't for
together.
her, this could have been a really bad film.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, and
Definitely.
this is what I mean about setting up for a new generation. I feel like there's momentum to her character, and she could really you could quite feasibly do another one with her at the helm, because I bought
We're in
into it.
spoilers now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, because again they've changed the future because she
Yes.
now knows. So the next film is going to be her. It might jump forward, but she now knows what's coming, and so she can save her as a kid.
What did you think of the kind of because obviously she's an augmented human, is what she keeps saying.
Yeah.
What did you think of the kind of concoction of medicines to keep her going?
Yeah,
That was an interesting.
That was
like,
weird.
plot
Yeah.
point, wasn't it?
What was on it? So it's like adrenaline,
Insulin,
insulin.
sodium, something.
I can't
Yeah.
remember.
It kind of made sense, but it was more.
She's like built for short-term fighting
Yeah,
situations.
yeah,
So her
exactly.
metabolism is like super
Yeah.
quick.
They only really explored it at the start, and I thought it was going to come back towards the end, and it's going to be like really.
It did. She was.
Well, it did, but it was like it felt there were higher stakes at the start when it happened to her, whereas
Yeah.
at the end he's kind of like, "You dropped your needle, get better soon."
You left this on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
stupid. No, it's interesting. I'm surprised they didn't do this augmented human thing sooner.
Yeah.
And I really like the flashback of her in the future trying to protect. So you never actually get
No.
a reveal on who the guy she was trying to protect is,
No, it
because I
wasn't.
assumed that was Danny's
It
son.
was. You saw her.
No, that wasn't her.
Yeah, it was.
Not,
What, on
not
the
when she was a
stretcher?
kid.
Yeah, on the stretcher. That was her.
Was that her?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, was it?
Oh, okay. Because you can't really tell who it is. They've got like a big head bandage on, and they're clearly like injured.
Yeah, but she had the same hair, same same size. It was
Oh,
definitely-
okay. Because I assumed that was her son.
This is one thing. Like, I enjoyed like that they did like a kind of like a women focused team up, but them like they lent into it with the like her being like, oh, it's just your womb, you just need to birth a man, and then at the end it's like, no,
Yeah.
it's you, and I was like, oh, that's so like.
I don't know. I quite liked it. I like that they redesigned it with like
Yeah.
a strong female cast rather
I
than it
do
just
Yeah,
like
being-
no, I like the strong female cast, but I didn't like the fact that
No,
they,
no,
were,
I-
they were trying to really highlight, look, we're doing a strong female cast. It's
No, but
not
I think that
about,
was more. I think that just spoke to Sarah Connor's understanding of what was going on. She thought she was just seeing herself in Danny, right?
For me, it was like they were shouting at the audience, being like, look how progressive we are.
No, I don't think it was that.
I don't see that as much. I can't. Yeah.
I think at that point Sarah Connor understood it to be, because Grace lied to them. Sarah Connor understood it to be that Danny was going to give birth to like the next John Connor. So she was
Yeah,
relating
but
to
also
her
do
character.
the fucking math. We're in 2019 as it is. Like, she came from
2042.
what? So some like 19-year-old lad, her son.
23-year-old. If she gives birth to the kid that year, which there's no saying she can't.
Also, why wouldn't they just go back a little bit further?
What do you mean?
Well,
Well, when she's like,
they tried to kill Sarah Connor before she gave birth to
yeah.
birth to John. Why didn't they go back and kill her father? Because he was pretty easy to kill.
Yeah, true. I guess it plays into like where
Then
the
there's no
timeline
film, Joe.
splits. Yeah. I was kind of annoyed. It's like, why did they change the name to Legion? It can still be Skynet in this timeline. You know, Skynet can change from machines to AI.
No, I
don't know.
think the point was like like Sarah Connor's character said, like the human race never learns. Because
Yeah.
when she found out from Grace what happened in the future, different timelines, she was like, "Ugh, why am I surprised
So what's
that it still happened?"
Yeah, what's the difference between Skynet and Legion?
Nothing.
Nothing really. Like
Nothing.
Nothing.
basically, what Grace was saying is the same outcome happened. It like Skynet never existed, but this company called Legion came forward and did the exact same thing Skynet did, because humans have this
They're just
lead.
they're,
to,
they're essentially just going to be able to keep making Terminator films just by delaying the inevitable takeover by the machines.
Yeah.
Because the original one was supposed to take place
97 was
97.
Judgment Day.
They've managed to push it back now to 2042, essentially.
I thought it was well written in terms of Sarah Connor's, like I said, her character motivations, and also then the way she interacted with Grace and Danny. Like she was quite maternal in a lot of ways.
I do wish they'd explored that more, like the parallel stories of like where Sarah was at in comparison to Danny.
You also had that. Well, you did have that parallel maternity in terms of Danny and Grace, right?
Yes, yeah.
Because Danny in the future saves Grace as a child from these people trying to steal her food.
Yeah.
Like after the apocalypse has occurred, and then like obviously you have this unbelievably grateful Grace traveling to the past to then stop Danny from being killed by
Yeah.
the Terminator, who's like, you know, you get a feel that she really, really cares for her and that she's almost mothering her and teaching
Yeah.
her how to be the future her.
Yeah. It's almost like
I would
three
really,
generations.
I would really
isn't
like
it?
to see like a few more flash forwards though.
Yeah,
think
that they
I
were
wanna
used to
know-
really good effect.
Yeah, I want to know more about their operation because they just look like a bunch of like rebels with a few guns, like massive. Why was it so important that she goes back in time and saves her? Because it doesn't look like their operation's gonna survive and take back the world
Yeah.
at all.
No, it looks like they're really on the back foot.
Exactly. So why is it so important that she's? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
I really liked that scene. That was with the bombs dropping and like she was like desperately trying to save the commander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she gets dragged into the room, and that's when she says she knows she's going to die otherwise, and she says, "Augment me, like,
Yeah.
like do it. I'm volunteering."
Also, I'd love to be augmented.
Well, not. I mean, you see how reliant she is on like the medications and like
yeah, but
taking those
only when
needles.
she's taking down a Terminator.
No, I understood that to be all of the time.
Well, no, because it's just because her metabolism is working so fast.
Oh,
when
while
she's
she's in the
fighting.
fight scenes,
Yeah.
right.
Sorry, I was thinking about Arnie and his.
I do that on a daily basis, mate.
He's so dreamy.
I was thinking about his curtain company.
That was a really funny line.
Yeah,
actually.
That was
good.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Carl's drapery.
Yeah.
when he was talking about the father that wanted salmon drapes in his daughter's bedroom,
Like, give her balloons.
or polka dots.
that was good.
He's got some great lines like, "Now I have to go get the groceries,"
Yeah.
or
Well,
"And
okay.
I'm really funny."
That's the part of this film I didn't understand. So let's get on to Arnie, because the text messages that we mentioned earlier, Sarah Connor's been receiving these texts from an unknown source.
Yeah.
And at the end, the coordinates for where Terminators are gonna spawn
Yeah.
in their timeline. So she's been going around killing the Terminators as soon as they spawn, off the back of these text
But
messages.
how are they
Yeah.
spawning?
They're just being sent back from.
Yeah.
But there is no future to send them back.
Well, there's
That's
there's
how he
like the
knows.
new timeline.
No, it
No,
can't be the new
it's the old timeline.
Oh, it's the old time. Okay, right.
Yeah. It's the old timeline because Arnie's
He has
Terminator
that
knows
memory.
about them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's Skynet Terminator still being sent back. So she's
Yeah.
going around killing all of them because he's giving her
But
the coordinates.
no, it doesn't. Because how does he know where Legion's gonna spawn?
But he doesn't.
Because he does, because he sent Sarah Connor to
Yeah, he
text
does. He got the
messages.
coordinates,
Oh, yeah.
and she had them tattooed on her, didn't she?
See what I mean? It don't, like
Yeah, you're right. Actually, plot hole.
there is inconsistencies, definitely.
I guess my big problem with Arnie's involvement, although on the whole pretty enjoyable and not badly acted. And,
Yeah, I think he was really good.
I think they did well with, bringing him back is just such a gimmick, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think they did so well to make it believable and like interesting.
Yeah.
And I think, when they get to his house, that was the part of Sarah Connor's acting I thought was quite good. Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
Where she came face to face with the Terminator again, and she she tried to kill him straight away.
That was good.
Then it brought back all those memories. But I just don't really understand why. She shot him when he tried to kill when he killed John Connor at the start.
Yeah, shot him in the back, didn't she?
And then he had like a big scar across his face as well.
Yeah.
So why I didn't understand why he wasn't healing
Yeah.
like he ordinarily would.
Yeah, I mean he's aging as well. So,
Yeah,
I mean it's.
But why is he human all of a sudden? I mean, he admitted he
Well,
wasn't.
he's not. But you can't do a whole film with Arnie using de-aging technology to make him look 30.
But they never addressed why his Terminator's aging or why.
I assume it's because, isn't it, its normal skin is over the top of them to make him look human, so I'm assuming that ages like a human's would. I don't know. It's kind of loose, isn't it?
But my point being, if you shot him in the original ones. Oh wait, no, he was a different model, wasn't he? So he doesn't melt down and come back.
No, he's
Yeah.
a T800.
Yeah, okay, maybe that makes sense in that case. But I didn't buy into him having a wife and kid at all.
No,
It's
that
bloody
was
bullshit.
really dumb.
and then they kind of like looked at the audience because they knew we wouldn't believe this, and was like, and Sarah Connor was like, does she not notice that you're 300 pounds?
Yeah.
And he was like, we don't have a physical relationship.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that the kid isn't his.
No. He said that. He said that she had a kid with some boyfriend that was beating her.
Abusive.
Oh yeah, sure.
boyfriend.
And then he was
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like, you would have some questions for him if
Yeah.
you were her. Be like, right, so we're no physical relationship. You've got a weird accent. You don't eat or sleep. Like, I'm just supposed to ignore this? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because
You got a load of guns in the back.
the point of him like having those two was to help him understand, like humanity and what it means to.
Yeah, it got quite existential at that point.
Yeah,
didn't
it did,
Where
yeah.
he was saying he served his purpose of killing John Connor, and then he didn't really. He had nothing to do afterwards. So then his purpose became being a good father to Matteo and being a good husband to Alicia, and seemed like he served that purpose.
Yeah.
Like, they seemed really happy, and then you get the emotional goodbye when he kind of divulges to his wife and kid that he needs to serve his like ultimate purpose as a Terminator and go off and
But
help.
I mean, this is the thing. They haven't seen that side of him at all. And then three strange women turn up. And then he's like, I'm not coming back, so you guys need to leave.
I think it was hinted at that she or his wife kind of knows elements.
He's got like got a rocky past.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he did kind of say like, oh, I've told her that my past has caught up with me or something,
Yeah,
didn't he?
so it's kind of hinted at that maybe they've had a conversation around that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought he's written into this script reasonably well.
Yeah, it was done really well.
Yeah, he's not shoehorned in.
No,
is he?
not at all.
He's
And
actually,
the Carl's drapery just added a whole
Yeah, that
whole
was
new
so
element.
funny.
Loved it.
Did he dye his hair before?
What,
before
greyer?
they leave. No, did he dye it black for the? You know the bit where he's
No.
about to pick up the sunglasses.
I
I
was
looked
gonna
at his
come on to
hair
this.
and I was like,
No, I don't
has
think
he
he
dyed that?
I like that moment as obvious as
Did he
it.
pick it up?
He
He
picked
picked
up
the
the
sun-
sunglasses to put them on, and then he threw them back down and was like, nah. Because it's like obvious. It's a really obvious like we're departing from the previous
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah, it's like a little departure point.
I also like the when Grace lands and she puts her foot next to that
Oh,
Mexican kid, and then next scene she's got his clothes. I was like, oh, that's a really good way of doing the boots, bike, clothes, whatever the line is.
Yeah, because when the Terminator lands, he puts his hand on the shirt, and I just assumed he was going to take it off this woman.
Yeah,
But then he kind of just copied it to his body, didn't he?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like
Yeah,
parallels.
how does the new Terminator work?
I was going to bring that
There
up.
are two of them.
No, there aren't two of them. There's like his internal skeleton and his like external like coating.
I assume it's
Yeah,
His
they
like,
can-
coating can be chopped up into small pieces,
Yeah.
and it becomes a liquid again, and then coats the actual skeleton. 'Cause
My-
it keeps jumping into it as well, doesn't it?
my
Yeah.
understanding is it's basically a T1000 over an older model. So that's how it can split apart, because the T1000 is just like liquid Terminator. So
Right,
it's
yeah.
like attached to that the whole time. Gives
Yeah.
it extra strength.
But it's
strength
one
and-
conscious, or not
Yeah.
conscious,
Yeah,
but, like,
they're trying to. Although you do get the impression that because there was the bit where his exoskeleton was in the helicopter, and
Oh,
it wasn't
yeah.
really moving, and then his outer layer runs back up into it and jumps over the top of it,
Yeah.
and then he gets
Yeah.
free. So
Well,
it
yeah,
seems
like the actual internal skeleton is the strong bit of it.
Yeah.
but it seems like the intelligence is maybe divested between them.
Yes, I
a
think so.
degree.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got
Yeah.
out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought some of the fight scenes in this were incredible as well.
Yeah, yeah, I really
impressive.
liked it. Yeah. The one at the start was really good.
Yeah.
When she's got the sledgehammer.
in
That
the
was sweet.
in the Mexican factory.
Yeah. That was a really good way to start it. And also I like that obviously this one does end in the kind of factory setting, but they also started this one, the first fight is kind of like a callback to the end of the first two.
Yeah. I really like the destruction of the highway that they go down in Mexico as well,
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
where he's in like the massive.
Oh my god, that bit was so fucking ridiculous.
when he runs
like.
that dude over.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
shit! That's so funny when he just like gets in the car and like he just runs him over at like 2 miles an hour. You see, boom, boom.
That's the best bit of the highway chase is where you see that new functionality to the Terminator, right? So his exoskeleton stays driving the
Yeah.
lorry,
Yeah.
and his outer coating kind of latches onto the metal rods that she's thrown at him on the bonnet, and then he appears in that pose on the one knee again, and
Yeah.
then jumps onto the back of their van.
Yeah.
That was quite cool.
Yeah,
That was a
that
cool.
was
That
really
was a
good.
cool chase scene. I didn't like the one in the detainment
Area.
so
Well,
much.
that did give birth to one of your favourite lines of the movie, though, didn't it, Jeff?
Oh, that was so fucking ridiculous. when she's when they're looking at
Oh,
her
yeah.
body under the X-ray. Oh no, they're not. They like open up her arm. And there's like a little bit of like
Shrapnel,
metal work underneath, and he's like, "Let's take some pictures." What the fuck? Like,
Kodak moment.
Yeah.
this would be great for Facebook.
But then she came to and then looked at the X-ray they'd taken of her, and she was like, "I did not give you permission to take photos of my private parts."
Oh.
Yeah, there was some like real bad quips, wasn't there?
And then she's like reasonably human for most of the film, but in that scene she just fucked everyone up for the
Yeah.
sake of it. She just like smashed that guy into the wall and then beat that woman up and was like, "Thanks."
Yeah, the woman's like telling her where it is, and she just knocks her the fuck out.
Smacked her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did, and one thing I found strange about this movie is sometimes the pacing was off. There'd sometimes be bits where I'm like, okay, get to the point kind of thing. I can't think of
I
any
got
particular-
taken out of the movie a lot. To
Did
be
you?
honest. Yeah. Yeah, there was bits. A lot of the dialogue problems that we talked about. Those were the things that just kind of like I would laugh and look at you two, see if you like thought they were as ridiculous as I thought they were.
Yeah, it was a problem.
I don't know. I thought the final fight scene was really cool.
Yeah, I did like the idea of
not the final one. The plane.
The plane scene was
the plane
good,
was.
yeah.
I liked the final one as well. I think Arnie's character was used so well in those scenes, like because you never got the impression that Grace was going to be able to take down the Terminator on her own.
Yeah.
And then you did get kind of he almost hit her. He almost got her a load of times, didn't it? The Terminator almost got Danny like 2 or 3 times. And then he just had like Arnie come back out of nowhere and grab him again.
Yeah.
Start punching him. Then Grace gets back up, and it was like, It was...
I didn't like the underwater bit. It was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Like the plane bit was really good, and I really liked the end fight was good. But that kind of bit when they are underwater fighting, it was
shooting a gun underwater.
Yeah, there was just some
it's
weird.
possible, isn't it? But it's...
No.
What do you mean, no?
Well, the mechanics won't work in a gun. Firstly.
I think it is possible, but it wouldn't.
Also,
And also, like, it would literally the bullet would go like a meter before it would stop.
Well, that I agree with, but you
Also,
could probably fire it.
I don't think you can.
Can you?
I think so, because you can fire a gun on the moon, can't you?
Really?
Yeah, it's just the kinetic energy that goes into the trigger.
Ah.
But is it not a spark?
You don't need a
No,
spark.
not anymore. That's back in the days of gunpowder.
What do you call it? Can't think of the
Trigger?
word. Come back to me. No, not the trigger.
Anyway, it
the
would
inner working.
like firing a bullet underwater would the bullet would slow down so fast.
Also,
Yeah.
starting a car underwater probably doesn't work either.
She
Why are
turned the
they
lights on.
driving that?
I don't think they're driving it, but they turn the ignition on to get the lights on, which I'm pretty sure wouldn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good. All right, Sync Slate scores.
I always go first, so
I do. I'll go first. I'm going to go 3.5.
That's fair. I think a 3.8.
Okay.
I didn't mind it at all, and I thought it's promising. I think
yeah.
as long as you keep James Cameron on board as the producer and you keep a vision in place, you could maybe do more of these.
Cameron produced it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Huh.
Yeah, return for it.
As well
It's
as
Tim
that.
Miller though, directed.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Deadpool. Yeah, I
Um,
agree. I think it's like back on track. It's good. It's back, baby.
I'm not as optimistic as you two. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 6.
Really?
Yeah. There was too many stupid dialogue moments that I didn't enjoy. The fight scenes were great, but it just it hits so many of those previous points that I didn't like about the other ones as well.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's returned to form.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
never going to live up to the first two, but
No.
You
I
just
think
have
it's
to
like
ignore the dialogue.
yeah.
I'll be quite. I'm happily gonna watch the next one though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think they've done a good job at putting a line in the sand and saying, right, okay, the 3, 4 don't exist, 1, 2
Yeah.
exists. We stopped Judgment Day. It's no longer Skynet. It's now Legion. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
I think they've done a good
Yeah.
job of that.
They've kept
But
all
let's
the
just-
best parts.
Let's
got rid of
just
the
next
worst.
time focus more on plot and dialogue and acting and less
Yeah.
on the CGI. Like, I know that's the selling point is the CGI and the action set
Yeah.
pieces, but you can't just rely on that. Arnie's not coming back.
No.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So let's-
They tied up his character arc
Yeah,
really
they
well.
did.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see like a more intimate, like resistance based one, maybe set a bit in the future.
Yeah.
The next one.
I guess also a note on this is paralleling this between Stallone bowing out of Rambo and Arnie bowing out of Terminator.
Yeah.
Like the way of doing it in Terminator was so much more graceful. Like the way he kind of
Yeah.
has finished Terminator is like spot on, I think.
Yeah, far
So-
better than Rambo.
Yeah, exactly.
How dare you even talk about it?
Anyway,
All right.
thanks for listening. You can get us on wherever you listen to your podcasts. Send us a question at SyncSlate6 on Twitter, Gmail, Instagram.
Are we gonna reveal the little bit? No. No.
No,
save that.
not yet.
Save that little
Okay.
nugget.
Yeah. Woo.
Something exciting coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hope so.
Stay
Anyway,
tuned.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.